So if it doesn't help you, it doesn't help you. I'm cool with that. But I'm still gonna try. And you gotta have that same mentality about your life, bro. Like, don't be worried about what other people think. People are going to test you. I mean, if you're doing anything of value, then it's gonna be tested. Just FYI, you know. I talking to somebody I love, somebody I really care about, telling them about an issue that I'm going through, and no, I saw that coming, and I was not met with the empathy that I thought I was gonna get met with. And it's funny because like I go through this often with this particular. I go through this often, and at some point, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, bro. Like, if I keep relying on other people's validation in order to feel good about a situation, to feel good about my decision, then I'm not really living, bro. I'm really just, I'm like no different from an AI. I just want you to enter the prompt that you feel is valid, and then me move based off of the prompt that you're giving me. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, if you like me, I rock with you. I appreciate it. It is encouraging, but it's not the reason for my existence. It's not the end all be all. So, I just gotta keep being myself. Who said you can't use gaming to encourage people? Who said you can't use gaming to teach people the ways? Not me. Welcome to the new episode of Gems and Gaming. Get ready as we log in to share some life wisdom and put you on game. Let's get it. Yo, what's going on, y'all? So we're gonna do something a little bit more lighthearted. We're gonna play Crash Bandicoot, and I'm playing with a keyboard instead of controller, which I'm normally used to playing with a controller. So we'll see how this goes. Should be fun. So left shift for spin. Oh my god. Left click for spin, it said. No. Cause how am I supposed to move and then click? That doesn't. Oh my goodness. Anyone that plays on controller, you are a legend. Like, legit. I don't know how you do it. But I guess we'll learn for this video. So I've been realizing that I'm kind of going through like a evolution of not caring what people think. It's a slow process. I know a lot of people probably feel like, no, I can't lie, I can't play like this. We're gonna have to change the options, bro. I can't jump, space, attack, left click. No. Attack needs to be shift, bro. It's not changing my attack. See, I don't know how y'all play on keyboard. Like, it changes my attack back. I don't know how y'all do this. Confirm remapping, yes. Okay. And it doesn't work. This game is broken, bro. Alright. I guess this is just like, let's just go ahead and just try to learn it as much as possible. I don't know how people are good at this, but I guess it takes a lot of practice. And I guess it even takes practice of like not caring what people think to feel more comfortable not caring. Like, what I mean by not caring what people think is no one knows what you really been through. You know, like I am super happy I'm starting to get shown some love, or at least some interactions from people who think my videos are entertaining, or you know, good to watch or good to listen to. That's dope. But you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Like you can't be so focused on other people's opinions that's the only reason you move forward, or the only reason you stop going. Like, you know, love is good. Hate is, if you get love, you're gonna get hate. I mean, it is what it is. You can't have one without the other. But you gotta have determination. Like, are you doing, or are you aiming to do something great? Then it's gonna be challenged. You know what I'm saying? And if it's gonna be challenged, it's gonna be a lot of people that say you should move this way, you should move that way. And you just have to have the courage to say, oh my gosh. You just gotta have the courage to say, like, oh, okay, so it just works randomly. All right. You just gotta have the courage to say, like, nah, I'm gonna keep going regardless, bro. Like, regardless of what people think, regardless of what people say, I'm just gonna keep moving forward. And that's what I mean by, like, I stopped caring. I just got so lucky. I stopped caring what people think because they don't know what I've been through. You know, like, when I try to give inspiration and motivational conversations, I try to keep it as generic as possible, not try to make it too complicated, not try to assume that I know your mindset. But the reason I do that is because I don't know your mindset. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you're going through. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody by saying, you know, this is the way to do it. No, I don't know. But I do know from my life, I can give you experiences, wisdoms, stories. I can only help you based off of where I've been through. So if it doesn't help you, it doesn't help you. I'm cool with that. But I'm still gonna try. And you know, you gotta have that same mentality about your life, bro. Like, don't be worried about what other people think. People are going to test you. I mean, if you're doing anything of value, then it's gonna be tested. just FYI. You know, talking to somebody I love, you know, somebody I really care about, telling them about an issue that I'm going through, and no, I saw that coming, and I was not met with the empathy that I thought I was gonna get met with. And it's funny because, like, I go through this often with this particular. I go through this often. And, you know, at some point, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, bro. Like, if I keep relying on other people's validation in order to feel good about a situation, to feel good about my decision, then I'm not really living, bro. You know, I'm really just, I'm like no different from an AI. I just want you to enter the prompt that you feel is valid, and then me move based off of the prompt that you're giving me. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, if you like me, I rock with you. I appreciate it. It is encouraging, but it's not the reason for my existence. It's not the end all be all. So, you know, I just gotta keep being myself. You know, it's funny because we seek validation from people that have no idea what we've been through. You know, and I understand why. No one wants to feel alone. No one wants to feel like we're the only ones in this world. You know, we care about what other people think because we don't want to be alone. You know, and I feel that. But you trying to fit in somewhere that's not meant for you to fit in, you're only going to consistently run into the same problem. You're not happy, and the other people around you aren't happy because you're hanging out with people who are trying to fit in, trying to, trying to also be validated by the people around them. So when you start to think different, they look at you like, yo, what are you doing? So you can't really make your decisions based off of no. Well, that's all good. It's not like it's the end of the world. But yeah, you can't really make your decisions off of what other people are feeling. Because you also got to think about it like this. If I never been through what you've been through and you start, venting to me, the only perspective I have is, well, if it were me, or, the only thing I am now able to do is be left up to the imagination of what would I have done in that scenario. And the truth is, I don't know. We always pretend like, yeah, I know what I would do if I was in that situation. It's like, yeah, that's cool and all. That's cool to say, but low key is disrespectful to the person that has been through it by saying, hey, how could you have done that thing? How could you have made that decision? It's like, well, what choices do you have is the real question we should be asking people, if we really want to put ourselves in other people's shoes. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I'll tell you something that I've learned to do less of as I get older. I've learned to stop saying, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Or if I was in that situation, I would do something differently. In reality, you don't know. And you think you would do something differently, but if you haven't even been in that situation, alright. Oh my goodness, can I jump? How do y'all play on keyboard? I have no idea. Y'all are the truth. I mean, mouse and keyboard, y'all are the truth. Like, legit. Because controller is the only thing I know how to play with. But I'm learning, as y'all can see. But yeah, like, watch out, buddy. If you've never been in someone else's shoes, you can't blame them for how they put their shoes on. You can't blame them for how they wear them. You don't know, and then also, even if you have been in a similar scenario, you can only give advice from your perspective, but that doesn't mean, it's one size fits all. It doesn't mean that your advice is going to work for them. It might have worked for you in your scenario, but it might not work for everybody. So that's why wisdom is better than knowledge. Shout out to the person on YouTube that said I was smart. I appreciate you, and that's actually really encouraging. Thank you. But wisdom is better than knowledge, bro. I had that on my LinkedIn too. I moved it because that's not really the LinkedIn culture to I don't know, it just felt weird having it up there. But wisdom is better than knowledge. Like, that hurt. I like to think that, I know a lot, but in reality, the more I learn, I realize I don't really know that much. Every single time I learn something new, something that's really elementary for somebody is advanced for someone else. Like, if you told me anything about your country that you live in, or your league that you're in, or something that I've never played in or done, everything is a learning experience for me. If you talk to me about anything new in your life that I've never experienced, it's all new to me. So, someone where that's their everyday might say I'm not, he don't really know. What does he know? It's like, yeah, that's facts. I don't know, but now I'm learning because you're teaching me. It's a blessing to not know everything because you get to learn every single day. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop living. Never forget that. Wisdom is way better than knowledge. So, I aim to be smart in my decision making, but in reality, it's like I don't know. I don't know that much. I'm just experiencing what I'm experiencing. But I got a lot more to learn. I'm a father now, but this is new to me, right? I never had a kid in high school, middle school, never had a kid face certain pressures yet, so I don't even know what parenting advice I would give them. One, every kid is different, and two, I'm still learning as I grow in life, right? Just because I've been in middle school don't mean I know everything that somebody's going through in their middle school experience. For me, middle school is the absolute worst experience I ever had. That might just be a me thing. But for other people, high school might have been the greatest experience of their life. You know what I mean? Like, some people, unfortunately, you ever hear somebody say they peaked in high school? That is some people's experience. Like, they feel like high school was the best experience of their life and it won't get any better. So if you're talking to that individual, and they're reminiscing on high school, talking to someone else who absolutely hated their high school experience, they're not gonna relate on certain things. So, life is all about perspective, all right? Life is all about perspective. That's the easiest way to kind of put things. Just consistently grow, and don't necessarily worry about other people's opinion. How about this? I've said this before because I remember doing Crash Bandicoot before on the Gems and Gaming, but man, that boulder is like someone else's opinion chasing you, bro. Like, you can constantly worry about it. It's never gonna stop following you. You just gotta keep moving forward. I mean, plain and simple. That's all you really can do, for real. Otherwise, it's over for you. Just in reality, And then you realize it wasn't even that hard. Like, it's the easiest level you probably ever had to go through, is getting over the insecurities of dealing with other people's opinion. It gets much harder after that. Like, I'm assuming this next level will be. Let's see. I don't like my Gems and Gaming to be long, but we're only at 17 minutes. So let's keep going. I will say on PC, even though it is hard to use mouse and keyboard, this game is really, really, really good on PC compared to Switch, obviously, but I'm enjoying the experience. It's not as hard when the graphics are much better, when you're not like having to jump onto a single pixel in order to stay safe. So yeah, like, I'm just learning to kind of just be myself. Also, like, to get other people's opinions sometimes who've never been through what you've been through. It's like for example, someone said to me, how would you feel if insert decision I made? And to say something to me like, how would you feel if that happened to you or whatever? When certain people say that to me, I don't know if I'm like supposed to react a certain way, but whenever they do that, I always feel like it doesn't sound like that big a deal to me. Maybe I'm just built different. Maybe things that bother you don't bother me. So that's why, like, how would you feel if this happened? Like, I don't know, but hearing it in a hypothetical scenario doesn't really bother me as much. Maybe I've been through more than you, or maybe like my battle scars are already starting to heal, that those things don't affect me today. There are different things that affect me that I can say, like, I would feel a certain type of way, but certain things just seem kind of like not that big a deal. You just gotta imagine what people go through that you don't have to deal with. And I think about those things. Like, I think You know how I feel about it is God will put you through what you can handle, bro. Like, plain and simple. And that seems disrespectful, but it really is only disrespecting you if you think what you're going through is too much for you. It's like, nah, you can do it, bro. Trust me. You wanna know how I know? Because you still here. You know, if you couldn't do it, it would have killed you. But you're still here, and I just, you know, I don't want you to take this as, oh man, I'd rather die than go through this pain. It's like, you preaching to the choir. I feel you on that, but you're gonna survive it and be so much stronger from it that you're gonna laugh at death in the future. For real. Like dang, I can't believe I thought that was gonna end me, man. Anyone that's ever been through a bad breakup knows, like, they thought it was the worst thing ever. And then fast forward into the future, you're like, dang, I can't believe she was really on my mind that much, really on my heart that much, or he was really on my mind that much, really on my heart that much. And now you like, I don't even remember. I don't even remember why I was into them. And that's how life go. Like, your pain seems like a lot right now, but later, bruh, you like, man, that was the easiest boss I ever fought. Like, let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, you might fall once in a while, but man, you got it. You know, once you learn the mechanics of the pain or the boss that you're dealing through, once you learn the mechanics of the thing that's causing you pain, it's kind of a joke. Oh, and that was my fault. I don't know, mouse and keyboard. I guess I took my fingers off the right keys. Yo, so people that play Overwatch on mouse and keyboard, how, bro? Like, you are the GOAT. I don't know how y'all do that. I have to play with a controller. And some people say like playing a controller makes it you not as good. I really don't see how. But yeah, man, listen, I know you going through it. Like, I know, you know, you feel like your pain is too much to overcome, but you keep pushing. Like, keep pushing, and don't listen to anyone that says, you know, what you're going through, they could handle it better or they would do it differently. They don't know. None of us know what you're going through except you. So just keep pushing. Just keep pushing, man. Alright. This is annoying. Very annoying, but this is almost over. My controller died. I'll turn my camera on so I could do my outro. Yo. I don't like keyboard, bro. I don't know how people play Overwatch like this. Just, what the? This is so aggravating. Yo. Why do I bounce off of the boss so far? Had to lock in, bro. Yeah. God bless.